Freddie brakes so early, and my goodness me, what was he doing there? We might even have a go at Perez going up into this next corner now. Indeed we have. We go up the inside of him, and that is a beautiful move there, up into P13. We are going to come around the final corner now, onto the final straight, to finish in 8th position for the first race of Season 2. We are going to go up the inside of him here, and we have just about defended that position, and just going through the corner now, almost free abreast, because Alonso trying to go up Freddie's inside, and we have maintained that position, and Alonso is through as well. And Alonso just gets so much better traction out of the corner. I don't know how he's managed to look after his tyres so well. It was almost like last season with Nico Hülkenberg. It's almost like we're driving a different car in terms of the tyre wear. We might actually go up the inside of Magnussen, and Freddie's going to go up the inside. He outbrakes off, he locks up, he forces Magnussen off the track, and in fact we haven't got a penalty just behind us now, including a Williams as well. We're going to put him down into Leavings, but in fact we are already chugging across the line. Hülkenberg might actually take us here, and we just about defend that position, and what a crazy end. An incredibly productive outlap, overtaking Lewis Hamilton. Now we're on the back of Sebastian Vettel already, and we could even go around the outside of him here. Wow, what a fantastic move there from Freddie Gray. Fantastic stuff here, and more action happening here. Perez moves out the way for us, and who's that in the pit lane? That is Fernando Alonso in the pit lane, and we are effectively in the lead of this Grand Prix now. And Hamilton's going to try and hang it around the outside, but no he doesn't. Freddie does very well there to hold his ground and go up the inside and maintain first position here. Out of the corner, he's got DRS here. He could actually go up the inside. We might even go to the outside of the defender. We decide to go to the inside. Now Lewis Hamilton's going to go up the inside here. No he doesn't. He backs out. Once again, tried his absolute hardest to go for it that time. Come across the line to take our first win of the season.
Okay, we need you to put in 4 qualifying laps now, Freddie. Come on.
This is what might decide the Monaco Grand Prix now. We set the fast lap of the race whilst doing so. Lewis Hamilton's just coming out the pits, as you can see here, going through turn 1. We're just going to go around the outside of him here. We just have better straight line speed, and we have done it here. We are ahead of Lewis Hamilton here at the Monaco Grand Prix. Just maintain the lead, just keep Lewis Hamilton behind. So essentially, 6 cars could still win the Monaco Grand Prix. So it's going to be a really tense final lap here, guys. Hamilton's going to go up the inside. He's actually going to go around the outside here. Lewis Hamilton's going to go around the outside of us, going into the Nouvelle chicane. We try and give him room there, but we just can't. But then Hamilton, he forced it into the wall. What is he doing? What is he doing? Lewis Hamilton's undeservedly won the Monaco Grand Prix. We are going to come through in 8th position. Freddie's looking to get one back on Lewis Hamilton after what he did last time out in Monaco. Going to go up inside Rosberg and even Lewis Hamilton here. And we're actually in the lead now of the Canadian Grand Prix. A fantastic start with Freddie. Done absolutely everything right today. It has been a complete domination today. And as you can see just back there, the gap back to Rosberg was over 30 seconds. So we have really had no challenge today. We've led every lap bar one. But Freddie Gray is going to cross the line now to win the Canadian Grand Prix. Hey guys, what is up? It is StopMatt1998 here, and I am back with a brand new video. This is part 27 of my F1 2014 Career Series, and here we are today for the Austrian Grand Prix. Can we make it 2 in a row here at the Red Bull Ring? Also, do you want to gain as many points as possible on Lewis Hamilton, because the gap to him now, I believe, is reduced. It's now 47 points, but still, that is a huge margin. And obviously, we've got to decrease the gap come the end of the season. There are still quite a lot of races in which to close that gap, but obviously, Austria getting a good points finish will obviously help, and hopefully Hamilton won't do too well in this race. We're going to have to wait and see on that one. But anyway, before we get into the race and see what happens, let's get into the qualifying report. The heavens opened just in time for qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix. Q1 was full of surprises, as both Caterhams and Marussias managed to scrape through into Q2. This was at the expense of some of the top teams. Sergio Perez was disappointed and qualifying 22nd, just behind the McLaren of Kevin Magnussen. The 2 Williams cars would line up in 19th and 20th, along with Hülkenberg and Button, making it a very disappointing qualifying sessions for all 3 of those teams.
Okay, so it was just a case of being caught out by the weather, was it?
Yeah, it was kind of, it was much wetter in the first corner than last corner.
The conditions improved ever so slightly in Q2, but the session was still full of surprises, as both Kamui Kobayashi and Jules Bianchi made it through to Q3 for the very first time this season. Marcus Ericsson was unfortunate to miss out after ending the session in 11th. The other Marussia of Max Chilton ended the session in 16th, just behind the 2 Sauers of Gutierrez and Satil. The 2 Toro Rossos qualified in 12th and 13th. This meant that both Losses got into Q3 for the first time this season. Going out early paid dividends for them. In Q3, it was intermediate conditions and the track was drying out at a rapid rate. Jules Bianchi and Kamui Kobayashi would have to settle for 10th and 9th respectively, while setting their laps earlier in the session. Then followed the 2 Lotus cars of Maldonado and Grosjean. Freddie went on up in 6th after setting his laps too early in the session. This meant that it was a straight battle between Alonso, Ricciardo, Vettel, Rosberg and Hamilton for pole position. Daniel Ricciardo tried his best but could only manage 5th. Just ahead of him was Mercedes' Nico Rosberg, and Vettel qualified in 3rd. The day belonged to Lewis Hamilton after taking pole position with just a few seconds to spare.
Well, it was close. I think if you look at Q1 and Q2, it was too close for for us to get to get on top. But fortunately, we knew that putting things a little bit together, and I was able to improve again for Q3.
So in the end, it was Lewis Hamilton who took pole position in the dying moments. But the race expected to be dry, and the fact that the teams have not had much dry running over the weekend, we are in store for another epic Grand Prix. So here we go then, guys, for the Austrian Grand Prix here at the Red Bull Ring, and Freddie is now stepping into his car, ready for the Grand Prix today after what you could say was a pretty disappointing qualifying session considering our pace in Q1 and Q2, but in the end, Freddie did try to leave it as late as possible to go out on track, but in the end it was actually a little bit too early because it literally was the last man to cross the line, did actually end up getting pole position. Obviously that man was Freddie's rival, Lewis Hamilton, so that was extremely disappointing. And obviously in this race, I think the strategy will come into play today because I believe with the mixed up grid, I think quite a few cars will be doing different strategies. I believe we're going to try and do a 2-stop while the majority of the AI will be doing 3. So as you can see there, it does seem as if we're going to remove that 3rd stop there. And we're going to do 2 prime stints, although I think we might get away with doing an option stint at the end of the Grand Prix. We're going to have to wait and see how it goes. You can see the game doesn't like that there. It doesn't think we can make a set of option tyres last to lap 10 by the looks of it. But I do believe we will be able to do that. So I think we're going to have to extend out our first stint to about lap 12, I'd say. And then, as you can see, just change the lap here to about lap 24. I think lap 24, and I think the option should be able to last about 12 laps. But anyway, let's go out on track for the Austrian Grand Prix. So yeah, behind our teammate Fernando Alonso yet again, it's quite worrying really because the qualifying battle between Freddie and Alonso is actually 8-0. So Alonso's out-qualified in every round this season. The lights are about to go out here in Austria, and they are out, and away we go here for the Austrian Grand Prix. We've actually gone off to a pretty good start, but then Grosjean behind us in the Lotus, getting off to a storming start. Obviously a fantastic qualifying for him. We're going to try and go around the outside of Rosberg here. Alonso braking early. I think Rosberg's still on our inside there. We're already up into 5th, but however, it looks like the Red Bull there of Daniel Ricciardo getting a beautiful exit there out of turn 1 with the traction in that Red Bull. As you can see, he's harvesting his ERS at the moment. As you can see, Vettel actually going to try and go for make a move on Hamilton, sorry. And then Alonso there braking extremely early once again. Freddie's just going to have to find his sweet spot here. As you can see, we have actually made our way up into 4th position. But look at that, that was Kobayashi making his way up into 7th place, I think. So great start from him.
Okay, great start, Freddie. Let's try and get past Fernando and Vettel now.
So yeah, it has been a very positive start so far. So we're already up into 4th position. So we've just got to catch up with Alonso and Vettel. We can't really let Hamilton escape because that's what he's done on so many occasions this season. But at the moment, it doesn't seem as Hamilton is escaping. So we do need to try and get past Vettel and Alonso as soon as possible so we can mount a serious challenge to Hamilton. Because obviously we don't want Hamilton to get too far away. I believe Hamilton is doing a 3-stop strategy, although that will be confirmed for sure. Obviously it depends on whenever he pits. Because I think the first pit stop for the AI will be about lap 8, so if he pits then that pretty much confirms that he's doing a 2-stop strategy instead of the 3-stop. But yeah, so at the moment we are dropping back from Alonso ever so slightly. It seems as if Rosberg's actually closer to us than we are to Alonso, but we should pick up our pace later on. As you can see, skipping on to lap 3 now. Hamilton is beginning to pull away ever so slightly, but the gap's not that big, and we are setting decent pace at the moment. But although as you can see, the cars ahead are really beginning to get away from us. But as you can see here, by the picture I've just put on the screen, quite a few cars have actually already retired. Ericsson had a brilliant qualifying, so shame for him, and Gutierrez and Magnussen. So really the realistic damage mode, I am running it one setting higher than I normally would. I'm running it on high this time instead of medium. So obviously realistic damage mode will claim more victims this time. But as you can see on lap 3, towards the end of the lap, we were really gaining on Alonso and Vettel throughout that lap. I really don't know how. The pace was just really good, and oh my god, Alonso braking so early there. Really lucky that we didn't lose our front wing with the realistic damage mode. You can see on the replay here, Alonso trying to go for a move on Vettel, for some reason backing out, and almost caused a crash there. That would have been absolutely disastrous for the 2 Ferrari cars if that was the case. But as you can see, Hamilton's pull away and really setting the pace. You can see 1 minute 10.6 there. We're going to get the straight line speed and the slipstream on the Red Bull, who's absolutely terrible in a straight line. So now we have nobody in between us and Lewis Hamilton. You can see the gap there 4.2 seconds. We should be able to close him in before his first pit stop.
Nice move there, Freddie. Try and close the gap to Lewis Hamilton before the first pit stop. We can confirm that he's doing a 3-stop strategy.
So that is brilliant news for Freddie there. So Lewis Hamilton is doing a 3-stop strategy, as our engineer literally just confirmed there. So on lap 5, we do now know that Lewis Hamilton is on a 3-stop strategy. So that is good for us, because hopefully, because I don't think the gap's too large at the moment. It is obviously increasing because Hamilton's obviously in the quick car at the moment. As you can see, actually setting the fast lap of the race, the gap is closing. I think that news has given Freddie a confidence boost, because obviously he's now putting in the purple lap just there. So that is brilliant stuff right there. But anyway, team ready?
Okay, just to let you know, there's been a huge crash behind. Fernando and Rosberg are out.
And oh goodness me, so that is Rosberg and Alonso out of the Grand Prix. So that is really strange what happened there. As you can see, I've got a quick screenshot there. I looked at the replay at the end of the race once I finished, and I saw Alonso there parking up. I can only assume what happened is that it was a similar move to before when Alonso tried to pass Vettel. But luckily we were able to avoid it. But I think Rosberg didn't react, and I believe he just crashed straight into the back of Alonso, and he just couldn't react in time. So very unfortunate for both there. Once again, Alonso driving a bit dangerously, you've got to admit there. But anyway, on to lap 9 now. Lewis Hamilton has come into the pits. We've got to put in some really good lap times now. I think we're going to stretch this stint out to about lap 12, and that should hopefully work out for us. You can see I'm not sure what the gap is at the moment to Hamilton. Obviously needs to extend the stint to make this do-stop work, and I think Hamilton at the moment is closing this. You can see the gap there is 13.4 seconds. I think we're going to take the tyres one more lap, because look at the tyres. They're already pretty much brick orange, getting onto red actually. So, you know, when they get to brick red, you really want to pit in, otherwise you literally will have no grip whatsoever. I mean, the tyre around Austria is not too bad, but I mean, I think where we're losing most of our time is in sector 2, and that does require a lot of tyre grip because of the fast sweeping corners. But as you can see, into the pit lane now. I think this will be obviously a primed tyre stint. As you can see, Vettel, I think we will rejoin in second behind Lewis Hamilton, obviously. But as you can see, only 14 cars left in the Grand Prix, so that is kind of strange, really. I wonder whether we'll actually end up with, like less than 10 or something, but I doubt that. But anyway, this stint will literally all be about catching up Lewis Hamilton. He's on the same tyres as us, I believe, so it shouldn't be too difficult to catch him up. So I'm not sure what the gap is. We're going to have a look once we get into Sector 1 split here. The gap to Lewis Hamilton, I believe, is around about, let's have a look now, it is 7.2 seconds. So 7.2 seconds, that gap's not too large. So on fresher tyres now, we should be able to catch up Hamilton quite easily. As you can see, 1 minute 10.3 there. Setting the fast lap of the race, although Hamilton, for some reason, just had amazing pace. It was because really we were losing so much time in Sector 2 and Sector 3, about half a second a lap, and that was a huge amount. And that was really costing us. I think Sector 1, which is the sector obviously we're in now, is where we were gaining so much time because, you know, because obviously the Mercedes is a much better car just in general corners, to be honest. Just general cornering grip. It's just so much faster and there's much more downforce than the Ferrari does. And the Ferrari's not better in a straight line, but we do seem to be gaining quite a lot of time there. As you can see, we gained a 10th on Lewis Hamilton. Back to 7.9 seconds. You can see on lap 16 now, Lewis Hamilton has just come in for his second pit stop of the Grand Prix, and he'll be on the option tyres during the stint, so he will be extremely quick and he will catch up to us at quite a fast rate. So we've got to really be on our toes, and we really can't lift off, even though our tyres will be going off in the next few laps. I believe we're going to take these tyres to about lap 24, so a couple of laps time from now. But as you can see, we're just about a lap of cars. The gap behind Hamilton's 10.7 seconds, so he has already caught up quite a lot. But that was Kobayashi there in 7th place, so still on lap 22, running incredibly well full cage from after his fantastic qualifying session, qualifying in 9th. So let's hope he stays there. But now skipping on to lap 24, Freddie's going to come into the pits now for a second and final stop. But as you can see, he puts the wheel on the grass and so nearly crashes out there. Really, really close there. But as you can see now, into the pit lane, we're going to put on a set of prime tyres actually. That's interesting because I thought we were going to go on the options, but I think Freddie just didn't want to risk it really. He just wanted to be on the prime tyres. But I believe Hamilton will actually be on the options for his final stint, so I'm unsure as to what the gap is to Lewis Hamilton. I believe that's a glitch over the gap to Ricciardo. I don't think it is as big as 37.5 seconds, but
that was our final pit stop. Just keep a consistent but fast pace. We want to win this one.
So the team are pretty confident that we can win this one, but we just got to keep a fast but consistent pace, because obviously we need to keep consistent, because that's the trouble. The AI are really consistent, and that's been our problem in some races this season. The AI have been really consistent, and we just haven't been, and that's why they've run away with some of the races this season. But as you can see, on lap 29 now, I believe Hamilton has literally just pitted onto the option tyres, so he's going to be so quick now, and literally the rest of this race will literally just be about Lewis Hamilton trying to catch up Freddie here. As you can see, setting the pace there, 1 minute 9.8, that is blistering pace really for an AI car. And as you can see, the gap behind 7.2 seconds, so he is already catching us up at such a quick rate. Vettel behind will really not be a challenge. He's 18.8 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton actually, so we're We're 10th up into this sector, but as you can see, Lewis Hamilton 2.9 seconds behind with just 2 laps to go here. I don't know if it will be enough for Lewis Hamilton, to be honest with you, so we just got to wait and see whether Lewis Hamilton, because we do know the Mercedes car is really quick. It can be such a quick car at times. We just got to keep it on the track, but I think what we've done that perfectly. We've basically done what our team had told us to do. We have kept a fast but consistent pace. You can see 1 minute 10.7 there, 4 tenths quicker than our last time. But I believe on our last lap, that was one of the only laps where we sort of made a mistake. But apart from that, our lap times have sort of always been in the sort of the low 1 minute 10s, or the high 1 minute 10s, sorry, actually. But as you can see now, on lap 36, we have maintained the lead for Lewis Hamilton. He was really no challenge in the end, and we're going to cross the line for the victory here in Austria.
Brilliant stuff, Freddie. Another faultless drive. Well done.
So that is 2 in a row for Freddie. Fantastic drive today once again. But it's just unfortunate, really. Lewis Hamilton keeps on finishing behind us. We're not gaining as many points as we can, but I believe the gap is now down to around about 40 points, I believe. But just look at all, unfortunately, actually, look at that. Kobayashi and Bianchi finishing outside the points. Really is. That is quite upsetting, actually. Really unfortunate, considering Kobayashi was in 7th when we lapped him. But as you can see, they're looking at the results. Special mentions obviously go to Romain Grosjean, finishing in 5th in the end. Fantastic result for him. And also Kvyat, who qualified in 12th, I believe. So amazing job for him, finishing in 6th place. And also Perez as well, finishing just inside the points ahead of Kobayashi after starting last on the grid. Obviously, it was unfortunate for Kobayashi and Bianchi in the end, but I suppose it just wasn't to be for them today. But still a brilliant drive nonetheless. But as you can see now, in the championship standings, we are now 40 points exactly behind Lewis Hamilton. And Daniel Ricciardo's a further... Let me do the maths. Further 14 points back, and then Rosberg's in 4th. And our teammate Fernando Alonso all the way down in 6th, thanks to another DNF, unfortunately. So there's 3 cars yet to score, and that's the 2 Marussias and Marcus Ericsson. So overall, very successful Grand Prix. It's just a shame that we can't gain as many points as Hamilton. But let's hope that in the British Grand Prix, which is obviously a home Grand Prix, and it would really be quite something for Freddie to win in front of his home crowd at Silverstone. So obviously we aim to do that next time out. And just imagine the prospect of Lewis Hamilton and Freddie Gray battling out for the win at Silverstone. That would be absolutely amazing for the British crowd. That would be absolutely enthralling for them. So let's hope that can happen for the sake of the British fans. As you can see in the constructors, we have dropped a little bit from Red Bull Racing due to Fernando Alonso's DNF, and Red Bull have been quite consistent this year, and I believe overall we do have a faster car than the Red Bull, but it's just they've been a lot more consistent than we have. Obviously, Alonso has had quite a few retirements this year, which is quite unfortunate. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, and obviously subscribe if you are new to the channel. Be sure to leave a comment as well, putting down your predictions for the next race in Britain. But anyway, guys, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.